Hi, Virgo rising sign. Here is your weekly forecast starting on the 9th of February until the 15th of February. So we have got the Mercury and Palasatine conjunction happening on the 9th of February, which is happening in your seventh house, and the Mercury will be making a conjunction to North Node. All this is happening in your seventh house. And the seventh house is connected to relationships, contracts, even open enemies. This could be a partner, a romantic or a business, who says something that acts as a mirror, for example, for your internal thoughts. And this could lead to a ability to spot patterns or a personal growth. Maybe you and a collaborator see a way to combine your skills and then create a business proposal, for example. Or there is an agreement or a proposal that comes to you and that feels like it has been, in the works for many, many years. Or you might even find a way to resolve a long-standing disagreement with a competitor or an enemy or within your partnership as well. But this is about coming up with a strategy so that we can grow together. You can even recognize some recurring type of people you might attract and you try to come up with a solution how to shift that kind of frequency. Remember, Mercury is the ruler of your chart. So this is about personal growth through the lenses of others. That's why potentially we need to be having conversations with them so that that growth can actually start. Now, the next stop is the Sun. Sun in Aquarius, sextile Chiron in Aries. So this is triggering your sixth and eighth house. And this is about healthier habits. Maybe potentially this is a change in your daily routines that could be leading to this great psychological breakthrough. This might be about kind of like trying to fix up your hidden traumas or the realizations of that. Or you might even find that helping others, for example, at work, is actually a really great medicine to fix your own internal anxieties. Or you might be organizing something around yourself, organizing your daily expenses, and maybe that is a way of kind of like settling a deep-seated obligation or debt. Or I can even imagine a colleague who offers you support that makes you feel safe enough to share a personal story of yours. Like this is about becoming a little bit more vulnerable. Or you might even find a physical therapy, a wellness practice, and that might be addressing certain type of pain, psychological pain, especially within your body. This could really talk to you about also the realization that I would like to upgrade something, for example, in my career. Maybe it's a realization that it's not just enough for me anymore to do a job that pays the bills, but I want to gain more power. Remember, the sun is actually the ruler of your 12th house. So that is a little bit of a loneliness. And you might decide that I don't want to be lonely anymore. I have to be fixing that up. Otherwise, it's affecting my physical health. Yes, this combination, even with a sextile, could indicate a little bit of a weakness that you might be experiencing within the body. So maybe we're going to have to find ways of getting stronger. Next up is the Mars and Vesta conjunction, which is also happening in your sixth house. And the reason why it's very important is because Mars is the dispositor of Saturn. And Saturn is a newly ingress planet in your eighth house. So this is about commitment. Commitment to feel better. Commitment, let's say, to lose weight. Commitment to do a job that is going to be helping you to pay off a significant financial debt or even a karmic debt. This is kind of like a surgical focus here. This is about mastering a certain type of technical skills that is going to give you the control. Let's say you decide that you would like to invest, to do investments. But it can feel like that in order for me to do that, I'm going to have to be able to focus to figure out the technical details. This is about you focusing on the service that you provide as well. Maybe you realize that I can become, for example, a healer myself. Maybe this is with Mars and Vesta conjunction. This could be really about the focus on the details as well. We do that because we want to achieve a better future. But at the same time, it looks like that there are some psychological complexes that we're gonna have to be able to name as well. Maybe you take on a more of a difficult project, work project, which can eventually lead to some income, extra income, basically. I can even imagine that you have to be treating a chronic health issue in the next 2.5 years. Or maybe you have neglected your body and it's the realization that I have to get back on track. Maybe you are even finding a way to kind of merge, for example, your finances or a business of your partner and yours, kind of like it's working together. Next up, and we are going to be making a separate video about Saturn and this Vesta Mars combination so that we can really have a great understanding how this might be playing out. Next up is a Jupiter and Juno opposition, which is very much of a relationship archetype. Now, this is triggering your fifth and 11th house. And what Jupiter wants, it wants you to be hopeful. There is this dream for a project, a community, to have more friends. But it's in conflict with that serious, creative, or romantic commitments that you have made. So I can imagine that you would like to socialize more, but for example, your partner is not as social. This is about a desire to expand your network, but it might be clashing with certain type of duties that you have got towards a child. So imagine scenarios where the babysitter is not able to come around and then you are unable to attend, for example, a social event. Or maybe it's about you finding yourself attracted to someone. Often with Juno, this is for strategic reasons in the sign of Capricorn. But your heart might want a Jupiterian, emotional kind of connection, someone who's going to sweep you off of your feet, and maybe something is missing. Of course, this could be applied to a existing relationship as well, because Jupiter is the ruler of your seventh house, where potentially everything might be going well, but maybe the fun or the joy or the intimacy department is lacking. This might be something that we gonna have to talk about. The reason why we have to talk about that is because we've got the Mercury North Node and Pallas Athene conjunction as well at the same time. Um, I can also imagine that you realize that if you want to reach your big goals, maybe you have to be applying more Capricorn discipline to the fun side. So this is not just about working hard on it, but it's working smarter as well, finding balance of, your goals and the fun element that you would like to have in your life. Next up is Arachne. Arachne entering the sign of Capricorn, which is, of course, your fifth house. So we've got a bit more attention paid to the fifth house this week. And this is about taking up a creative hobby that might require, precision. Like with Capricorn, let's say I'm going to be making watches. I'm going to be doing certain type of coding. With Capricorn, this is an intricate type of work. And maybe this is going to be a hobby that you are hoping that eventually it's going to give you some financial boost. Or maybe in romance, I can imagine that we are coming up with a strategy. We are trying to notice every single pattern in the other person as well before we make a decision. Or you might even take on a fun project and trying to apply this professional kind of like project management structure to it. Or you might even be planning an event and then you're trying to map out the details. Maybe it's about the education or the development path for your own child. Or maybe you are ready to streamline your schedule a little bit, or the schedule of your own child as well. Amor enters Pisces, which is, of course, your seventh house. And we do see that we have got quite a lot of activation going on now in the sign of Pisces. So this is about seeing your partner. It's about falling in love, kind of like unconditional love, but also being able to forgive the partner as well. Or this is talking to us about a long-standing conflict and it's going to get resolved because we've got this more soft approach rather than just applying the logic. Or it's about being able to understand why the partner did certain type of things as well. Um, or you realize that you have been giving too much love to others. And this could be the realization that basically I'm going to have to give myself as much love as I'm giving to others as well, especially with Mercury being in the seventh house as well. Or even this is an agreement on a spiritual or healing kind of like a healing mission that you and your partner are going to decide to walk on. Or, I can even imagine that it's about winning. Winning by being graceful and empathetic. When you are getting into an argument, for example, and then you just kind of let it go, and then you still feel like you have come out of it as a winner. And we've got asteroid Lilith entering the sign of Aries, another eighth house activation. So you can see that the most activations in your chart are sixth, seventh, and eighth house this week. And this is about reclaiming your desire and your body from any past shame or external control. And I think Lilith paving the path for Saturn, it's actually a very good sign here because it means that Virgo, something that you are ashamed of, you are going to be able to name it and potentially you are going to be kind of like trying to walk away from it. Maybe you are even taking this very bold, perhaps risky step to gain control over your own resources. So, working towards financial independence. Or maybe you are ready to confront this deep, darker part of your psyche, and you realize actually that you have got this power source that you haven't considered yet. Or maybe you are ready to talk about the taboo, you are not going to allow anymore to silence to be silent basically, or to do something in secrets, or secrets that have been controlling you. Or you tell a partner exactly what your boundaries are, kind of like giving them a zero room for negotiations. And maybe this is also connected to your intimacy department too. So for you, Virgo, the vibe of the week is about healing your karmic roots. There are some fated relational moments here that might trigger a need to look at your shared debts or the way you are meant to be transforming. And with Saturn entering the eighth house, this is the beginning of a financial and intimate restructuring. But there is a lot of focus on daily excellence still. Your power lies in the sixth house. Because there is the focal point there with the Sun, Mars, and Vesta pretty much triple conjunction. And I think we can use Arachne in your fifth house to turn a creative hobby into something profitable or something that we can be doing on a daily basis. So good luck, Virgo, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.